there. Hi, you. It's me, Candice, Sister Minh with Happy Catastrophe. And I'm here with one of our favorite videos of the month, Completed Pages. And this is for August 2025. And you may hear a couple of things in the background, just letting you know. One is my dishwasher. It's pretty quiet, but you might hear it. It's running because I need to do dishes. It's my day off and I slept until I'm embarrassed to say, and so now I'm trying to get caught up on a few things. B, you might hear Jack chew on a bone because he just started, because of course he heard me say, hello, you, and that's his signal to start making noise. And there is a third, and one is Jet. Jet, the chicken. I'll insert a picture of him right now being completely obnoxious. I swear he thinks he's a dog. Jack does not know what in the world is going on right now. The doors are open. It's been a beautiful day, but Jet keeps coming back into the house. I would have to shut the doors to keep him out. And I just can't bring myself to do that because the other chickens have not quite accepted him yet. So he feels safe in the house. So if he wants to come back in, he can. And now he's looking for a place to roost. He will roost in his bathroom, and it's all cleaned and ready for him. But he also likes to roost on the back of a chair over here, and I'll show you a couple of pictures of him settling into roost. And that's fine. He can roost there for a bit, and then I move him to his bathroom where I can clean easier because they do poop in their sleep. They poop all the time. So the house is clean, and Jet is being a little bit obnoxious, but he's just so sweet. How can you not love him? And those feathers that are coming in, those beautiful brown feathers, those are from his mom. And he's just a delightful little guy. So you can hear him settling in. He's pretty happy right now. He's found his favorite chair to roost on. He's going to start clucking happily. And Jack is chewing on his bone, and it's just another peaceful evening in the cabin. So let's look at what I did in August. Okay, I'm on a quest to mythographics and mythogorias are my focus this year, as you know, and I have done 12 so far mythographics up until August, and then I only did 2 this month, which is my goal. I did no mythogorias, which is weird, and 9, so I have a total of 12, 13, 14, 9, 10. 23. I've done 23 this year out of the 2, and that's fantastic. That's great. That's almost 2 a month, and I will be picking it up towards the end of the month because my goal was 2 a month. So yay. Oh, Jet's settling, and now you'll hear him coo and kind of peep real contentedly. He has a very specific song that he sings for me, and I sing it back to him, and that's how he finds me. I did 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 pages this month. Fantastic. 10 were in untouched books. 11 were buddies. And I did 1 sticker story, which I'll show you here. But I also am compiling them all into one long video where I'm reading you a book, a voice overlay. And it's going to be a nice, long, peaceful, non-monetized video as a gift for you. So that you can use it to go to sleep if you'd like, or just to put it on the background. And that'll all be coming out soon, as soon as I finish it. All right, so let's get started and let me show you what I did in August. Okay, the first one I'd like to show you is out of this wonderful book, and this is a project book that we're having fun with. This is Fern Calloway's Fey Fantasy, a coloring adventure, but it's a choose your own adventure. So we've done 2 videos on this so far, where we did the very first page where Fern was woken up by Nana Mori, and Nana offered her breakfast of whiskey and milk, or she could get up and check out all these taxidermied animals and see what they're all about. And I put it up to you as a vote, both on Instagram and YouTube. It was very close. And you all voted for her to get up and play. So that getting up and play sent us to page 4. So depending on we also had the option of asking where Mr. is. So we had 3 options, and it was close because we don't know who Mr. is. But befriending the taxidermied creatures won. So we go to page 4, according to what the book, and that's this page right here. On this page, she is playing with her friends. So there's a video of this one. Yes, I made Nana Mori's hair very metallic. I tend to use acrylic pens for this. I think I tried some, this is paint. Sometimes I do watercolor pencils, but this is paint, and it looks like gravy paint. This video of me doing this page is up on the channel, and it's under the playlist Fern Calloway. So you can see videos 1 and 2 from there. And I will be working on 3 because I just tallied up the votes. This one was a runaway winner. So our 2 choices were to stay and play with Peepers in the manor. This is Peepers. He's the strange bunny rabbit whose eyes are in his ears. And or to sneak out of the manor in search of friends. Now there were 3 valiant votes for staying and playing with Peepers, and one of them was my favorite, by Kathy. Kathy put down, let's go outside in search of friends and take Peepers with us. I love that choice. I wish that was one of the choices. But the runaway winner by far was to sneak out of the manor in search of friends. So we're going to sneak out of the manor. Now that's page 9, and I've not seen it yet. So let's go to page 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we are. So this is the next page we're going to do. So if you're coloring along with me, and I don't have a hashtag or anything for this, but if you'd like to send your page to me to see it on Instagram or post it, and you can tag me in it, I'd love to see it. I do have one friend who is coloring these pages along with us, and she sends me her page, and it's so much fun to see that. So if you'd like me to see your page, I'd love to see it. But this is the next one we're doing. So we're sneaking out to see the manor. And it says, I can read it to you what we're doing next. It says, Fern wanders without care or course until she finds her way to the magical marshland of Harokal Fens. Thinking nothing of danger, she crosses into the fens, wandering deeper and deeper into the depths of Fey realm. Oh, Fern. With time, she happens upon a small creature sitting on a tree stump. Large mountains loom in the distance, blocking her path forward. The creature growls softly, its back turned away from the little fawn. It hasn't seen me yet, Fern thinks. So this is the situation we are going to color in next. So in September, I'll color this. So yay, this book is so much fun, a lot of fun. The other book we're doing all the way through is Haunted High Rise, which is murder mysteries, and I did not get to that one in August, so I will be doing a Haunted High Rise next, first before I go move on with Fern Calloway. All right, let's look at another book that I did. And this was the Tiny Town Cute and Easy coloring book. Now, I have not actually busted into this book yet. Can you believe it? And I did this with a small group of folks who wanted to do Gabby Wolf, who also wanted to work on this. I just needed to get a page done. I love this book, absolutely love this book. And this book was a gift from one of my anonymous subscribers. Thank you very much. I love it so much. And the page we all did was the this page. And I had so much fun. Now I'm going to show you the other pages that I can pull up as soon as I finish talking about mine. I had fun. I went through my Cocoa Wire patterns book that I love so much. And one of the patterns that I played with before is this lime pattern. So I added the limes to the floaty pool, to the blow-up pool. And then these stripes were already there, so I just kept the same color scheme. The other thing I did with the aid of that book was added strawberry pattern to the umbrella here, to the shade umbrella. And that was a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it still, but I'm getting better. This is better than what I worked on in the book. I think that was, other than that, just adding some texture to the grass with, dots and some shading. This was all done with alcohol markers, except for maybe this white here. The white accents is my Panda Fly white pen, which is my go-to now. This Panda Fly white pen, I've used it so much I've wiped off the words, but it used to say Panda Fly right here. These are the best white pens there are. And you can find them on Amazon. Love them. And that's my page. I did the shade effect with basically just using darker colors in here and the same color but lighter toned outside of the shade, so it looks like there's shade. Drew these lines, you know, with a ruler, and then just did that to make it look like they're in the shade. That was it. Is there some Languo? Yeah, I think I did the lines of the line with Languo gel pen. Languo gel pens show up everywhere, but I think that might be the only place I used it. I did shading here to make it look more dimensional. I think I just used a gray Copic along the edges. And that's my page. I had so much fun with this. I loved every single second of it, and I want to do another one in here. This book is fun. It's a good size. At first I thought, oh, it's kind of big for me to, you know, use alcohol markers, and I kind of like the size of the Cute and Cozy books better. But it turned out to be perfect. It's just the right size to really get in those spaces and do some shading and have some fun. So it was a really fun one. And now let's look at the other ones that we've got from the group that I created to do this page. So here is Karu's, and I will put her Instagram handle right here. She is at My Starseed, and hers is phenomenal. I just love it. Look at the colors she used. They're so classic. That blue and gold, or blue and yellow, are super classic colors. And she made them so bright by shading and using variations of the blues and the gold. And just check out I mean, you probably wouldn't notice unless I pointed it out, but look at the shading on the umbrella where she's used darker versions going to lighter in the middle and then back to dark towards the top of the umbrella. That's the same effect that I've talked about in making the colors gold. It's really the effect you use for anything with alcohol markers in order to make it look like something has dimension, because whatever's dark recedes away from you and whatever's light stands out. So by her doing the edge of the umbrella and the top of the umbrella in darker tones of those yellows and blues, and then bringing them in towards the middle with lighter, that makes the umbrella really look three-dimensional, like it truly is curved. And she did that also with the blow-up pool. It's just a beautiful coloring job. It's so subtle you probably wouldn't even notice how talented it is. Her clouds, by the way, are one of my favorite things on this page. My clouds are white blobs in the sky. Look at those clouds. They look like real clouds. I don't know how she did it. I'm gonna have to ask, because I want my clouds to look like that. And everything on this page is shaded and to make it look as realistic as possible. And it is just a delightful page. I love the shading on her creatures. Her little bunny rabbit is just beautiful. Just the whole page, it looks professionally done, super wonderful. Thank you so much, Karu, for doing this with me. Now, the next one we have is Esme, or Emma. And this is her Instagram handle. And Karu and I both thought, Emma didn't mean to do this, but we both thought it looked like the animals had gotten wet and their hair went curly. Their fur is all now curly, like from the water. It's just so dang cute. Now, she went over every single black line heavily with, it looks like maybe markers, maybe paint she used, to give it a very painterly look. And I love it. It looks like she painted this picture, and it's beautiful. The turquoise and the seafoam, turquoise blue and the seafoam green type blues really work for shading. And then the various versions of pink she has, she mixed cool and warm tones very confidently, and it just made for a beautiful painterly looked page. I really like this. Somehow she made it look both pastel and bright at the same time. I don't know how she did that. It shows so much talent and so much skill, and I can't wait to work with both of you again, because you have very different styles, but you both are very adept at the styles you have and very skilled. And so I can learn so much from both of you. So thank you. Thank you so much for coloring in this wonderful book for me, with me, and helping me get my very first page done. Thank you. All right, so I did a flip through of this, and if you're interested, it is in one of, it's not a dedicated flip through, it is in where it's called 3 Quirky Books, and because I do consider this a quirky book for sure. And it's by Autumnal Wood. A lot of people think that's the name of the book, but that's the name of the artist. The name of the book is Enchanted Creatures. And Autumnal Wood is, I guess, a very well-known artist, but I'd never heard of her before getting this coloring book. This is her only coloring book. She also had is it 2025 or 2026? Maybe it's coming out, a calendar that's colorable, but I'm hoping she comes out with another book because this is a phenomenal book. And if you've seen that video, Colored by Maya also has a dedicated video to flipping through this. It's just a wonderful book. And the page that I did was when I first got it, I couldn't stand it. I did these 2 pages. So let's talk about this one first. I don't know what I was doing with this. This looks like, I think I unleashed my inner 6-year-old. I was trying to do a mixed media page. It didn't really turn out. All it is on this page is this cute little sunflower, but my treatment of it leaves much to be desired. But it was fun, and I had a good time. And I don't think there's any page that's a disaster that needs to be tossed. This is a learning experience, right? So it was acrylic in the background, and I do love that acrylic paint. That was a paint. Or was it a pen marker? I feel like it was a paint, like with a brush, and I had to put a couple coats on. And then I did, I had a lot of fun using, I tried some oil pastels in here and various things in here until, I mean, it just didn't turn out really well. Paint for there's a lot of paint in here. There's a lot of super golden markers, you know, down there. And there's some Languid gel mark pens, taking out all the black lines. All the black lines are gone. But it is, you know, an odd page. I did various things in the background. Kind of used a circle. I think this was something it was the end. It was the end of a blender brush thing that I just put in white ink and stamped it. So I've got some distress ink in here, a lot of stuff, a lot of colorful stuff to kind of make the background shiny. I do like the background. The background's fun. Just don't know what I was doing with that sunflower, but that's it. That was one I did. But the one I started on that I was really excited about was this one. This has watercolor pencils in it, and it's got regular pencils, so probably Albic Durs and polychromos. That's what I tend to use. There's a lot of that. The background is a gel stick of some sort. It's probably Tim Holtz crayon, Tim Holtz watercolor crayon, because they are water soluble, so I can blend them a little bit. But I don't think I did use too much water on this. I think I blended several colors. But I did do the edges of this with those crayons, and then used water to just sort of blend them towards the middle, but didn't touch the middle to keep the clouds integrity. Same with the moon. This is a lot of water, those Tim Holtz watercolor gels. I get the names mixed up. Crayons. They're watercolor crayons, and they're like gel sticks. They're just like they're like a nicer version of a King Art gel stick. They're a watercolor crayon. Then there's, you know, some gold and various things flicked. This is flicked on with a brush, and it's just gold paint, I think. And I had a lot of fun. There's some shiny, probably Staedtler Art fine liners that are shiny, making shiny in her hair and such. And I do love the colors on this. I love how it turned out. I think it was great for kind of a messy mixed media page. I kind of feel like I can experiment in these pages because they are so wide open and different. Had a really good time. Several people have gone. This is on Amazon. It's great paper. It's double-sided, but the artwork is quirky and fun and really good. I can't believe it's on Amazon. It's such a find. And I have a buddy a no timeline buddy because, of course, we have Space Timber and then the spooky season October. So, but we both love the Naked Butt Shroomy. So my friend Mrs. French and I are going to do this one. And oops, sorry, I touched the light. There's a no timeline, no deadline, just whatever it takes. And the reason I feel like I think I can experiment with these is these huge backgrounds. So what can I do with that? We'll see. This is a perfect candidate. Well, I can't cut it, can I? I could cut it if I didn't care about that, which I kind of don't. So I can either photocopy this onto good paper, color it, and then I want to experiment with a collaged background. I'm going to come up with an idea. And if it's interesting, I'll film it. And you guys can see how I do it. I hate cutting into this book, but then again, this is the one wallpaper that it's cute. I hate cutting into this book. I probably won't cut into the book. And instead, I'll show you how you can do it without cutting the book, inserting a background behind the page. So, cute butt. All right, so that's going to be for later. But this is in Autumnal Woods' book, only coloring book, Enchanted Creatures. And definitely go on her socials and try to convince her to do another book because this is gorgeous. Okay, I just put some dinner on to cook and tuck the chickens in. And so while we're waiting for that rice to finish, I'm going to show you a few more pages. So, of course, you see this one a lot. This is one of my favorites, and I'm working on completing this book eventually. And there's a group of us that are working on it together, and we're all working at our own pace. We have 9 pages chosen right now, and we're all working on those 9. And then if one of us finishes those 9, we'll add another 3 to the list. So the one I did this time was this crazy guy, the apple-headed guy. And I know I talked about him in a Coloring with Me in the Cabin video. He was done mostly with paints. Goes really fast with paints. Acrylic paint pen in the back. I just released the Coloring in the Cabin number 5. That one. I showed how putting a second coat on really made that nice. It could have used a third coat, but second coat is fine for this book. These are single-sided technically, so you could use alcohol markers, but I tend to use paints. So these are all just various paints. I've used a lot of roses, I think. There's some Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, those pigment sticks that you add water to, and this looks like hickory smoke. I left the white the color of the page, and the rest of it's just various, mostly Tim Holtz watercolor paints down here, acrylic paint pen up there. That's an acrylic marker, and then some Languo going over the edges. His face is, I believe, Rosa paint. I had my Rosa paint out for another page, and I just dabbed several red and purpley and brown colors on him to try to give him the look of a rotten apple, because he is a rotten apple. He is Ringo no Kai, and his write-up says, although they might look like humans, Ringo no Kai are the spirits of apples that have clung to the branch for too long. Left rotting and uneaten. Peculiar creatures, they will appear knocking at the door with their bulbous apple-shaped heads and insist that the residents feed them their feces. Yikes, and I'm cooking dinner. They will gorge themselves on human waste while exclaiming what a delicious feast it is. Generous by nature, they will then insist the homeowners partake of their excrement in return. Yeah, gross. These are fun. They all have write-ups over here and explain what they are. And this artist is just fantastic. And I've done quite a few pages in here. This is the next one I'm going to do, the Ganji Kozo. And you see a lot of these in various Japanese paintings. They tend to be near ponds and they eat fish. Fishermen often leave them offerings of their cheapest fish just to keep the peace, but they're not dangerous. And this style is so popular that this hairstyle is copied by Japanese children. Is that not funny? So I think I'll be doing him next. Yep. And that's when I did. So this is a fun book. If you have this yokai book and you want to join our group, let me know. Strange and Frightful Yokai Coloring. And this is by Davy Yakusa, and you can find this on Amazon. Fantastic paper, great book. All right. Let's go to a book that I have fallen madly in love with. Who knew I would like manga coloring? I'm still not so sure I do like manga coloring. I like this book. It is thick. It is heavy. It is chunky. It's so good. So good. And it's not single-sided. It's double-sided. I've not done an actual flip of this yet. There's a lot of flips on YouTube. If you want me to do a flip with reaction, I definitely will. I usually don't say that. I usually flip every book I get, but I've gotten several books lately, so I didn't know if flipping this would be redundant or not. But if you want to hear my reaction, I'd be happy to, because this book is so worth it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it pretty much everywhere. Fantastic paper, really thick, I mean, almost cardstock paper, and just gorgeous pages. So picking a page, it was very hard, but I ended up picking this one because I thought it was funny. Now, on my first page out of every book is me experimenting with mediums. So here I experimented with lots of stuff to see what I liked. There's Albert Durers. There's just colored pencils. There's a lot of acrylic, both acrylic paint and acrylic paint pens. There's, acrylic markers. There's Lengvo gel pens. There's some shiny metallic pens. There's just a lot. And I found what I liked. I do like for shading, the watercolor pencils work great. So if you have Albert Durers or the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, they worked really great. The glaze pens are delightful. I'm just now very precious with my glaze pens because I think discontinuing them. A lot of this is acrylic, which made it really fast and fun. You can't do much shading with acrylic, but manga art tends to be really flat. But I'm going to experiment more with using other mediums where I can shade. And I just really had a good time with this. Picking out the colors was fun. And she is definitely causing a ruckus. This page is so funny. I don't think any of these pages are really from stories. They're just out of Christopher Hart's imagination, and they tell stories all in themselves. And they're just wonderful. Absolutely loved it. I had a great time with this page, and I can't wait to do another one out of this book. This book is fun. It's a large book, so there's a lot of space. Paint works well on these pages. You can just do almost anything. I think Albert Durers would be a lot of fun. They're just, yeah, it's a great book. Absolutely loved coloring out of it and can't wait to color more. So that's Manga by Christopher Hart. And let me get you the ISBN on that one so you can find it, because it can be found in various places and you might be able to get it for a cheaper price. I don't know if you can find them on used resale sites yet. It's fairly new, so I don't know if people are reselling it yet. It was made this year. I got this one at Walmart just because I saw it on the shelf and I was like, hey, that's that book everyone's got. So I grabbed it. All right, let me show you what I did next. Okay, my rice is done. It's now, I cook it in an Instapot, so it is just naturally decompressing for a bit before I will manually decompress the rest. And I have my stir fry all made, ready for it, so I'm gonna be having dinner here pretty quick, but I have time to show you another book or two. So in Yoga Animals, so cute. Oh, I love this book. Single-sided, perfect paper, every page. Listen to that paper. This might be some of the thickest paper I own in a coloring book. It's so thick. It is like cardstock. Really wonderful. This is by Kimma Parrish. You can find this on Amazon easy. It's just such a wonderful book. And I have now a group of people who are working out of it. So there's quite a few of us. So I'm not going to show everybody's picture here. I get a little confused sometimes when there's a lot of folks. I start assigning names to wrong pages, and I'm just, I'm going to try to avoid that. So you will see a lot of this on Instagram, though, being posted. We don't have a hashtag or anything. We're just in a group together. And this time, I am the happiest I have yet been on a page. This is the panda, and I have been using mostly acrylic paint pens and acrylic markers and stuff in this book. And I decided this time that I was going to do that again, but I think I used a little bit of alcohol marker. I mean, alcohol marker can work because these are definitely single-sided. But I also used some paints like Rosa paints or gravy paints. What do I say I used? It might be gravy. Yep. I used the gravy paints. I also have some Albert Durs in here and alcohol or acrylic markers and Language gel pens and and then some sparkly stuff. You know, this is probably the gold Panda Fly because Panda Fly has a gold, although I think the Language gel pen gold is better. So I think the Panda Fly does the white really well. And I wouldn't probably bother with the gold, or the silver is nice, but it comes within a pack with the gold and the white, and the Language gel silver is good too. So I just focus on the white with those. But I think I like it best because I was more cohesive with the coloring, I think, and I did some shading. Where my other pages were more flat colored, like here was the French Bulldog, just more flat coloring, not really any shading. Here was the bunny rabbit we did. I did enjoy this one. I did a little bit of shading, but it's a lot of flat coloring. But in this one, I did some shading in places, and I just really like the colors. I can tell you that a lot of us did use this red because it's, you know, Chinese. So there was a lot of red and green and blues. But there were some that went completely different. So you'll be seeing some pages on Instagram that are completely different. I think another thing I really like about it is that the gold accents, I don't think I went too far. I think I did just enough of the gold accents and all the other shiny stuff. And he's just a really cute panda. I just think he's adorable. This book is so much fun. If you like this, let me know and I can make sure you get added to the group so you can join us. We do a page a month. But once you get started, and they are very detailed. They're surprisingly more detailed than what you would expect. But once you get started, it's hard to put them down. They're just so much fun. The one we're doing this month, I should have it marked. Do I not have a chicken bookmark in it? Maybe not. I can find it real quick. This one. Because she's got stars and moons and stuff around her. This is a sheep. Is that not fun? I love it. I think I will here's a bookmark I actually made. I stamped that from a stamp I have and colored it a long time ago. Stamped this side too. These are two bookmarks glued together. So I made this one. One World is Enough for All of Us and stamped all that stuff. And then I stamped her. And then cut them down and glued them together. Yeah. So I'll put that in there. This one's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't figured out the colors yet. But man, there's got to be some pink in here. It's a sheep. I don't know why I think sheep was being pink, but that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's Yoga Animals So Cute by Kimma Parrish, a book I highly, highly recommend. Okay, I just had a fantastic meal. I made a refrigerator stir fry, which is where I just go through and get every wilting ends of whatever vegetables. And this time I also had some ground pork that was thawed out, and I just put it all together. Made a sauce out of the last of my hoisin sauce and some soy sauce and a little sugar and some cornstarch, you know, and just made it kind of a thick sauce and put that in there. Mom had given me some corn on the cob for the chickens, but it was perfectly fine, so I cut it off the cob and put it in there. I had some beans from a neighbor, put those in there, stir-fried everything up. I had some very last of some carrots, you know, cut the good parts out, stir-fried it. Yeah. Fantastic meal. You'd never know it was refrigerator leavings. All right. So now with a belly full, back to the books. Serenity. I think I got this used. Yes, for $5 on Amazon. So it was free shipping. And it was through a third-party seller. I'm not even sure how I found it, but it's a Peter Popper Press book. And I have flipped through this one. It's just absolutely beautiful. And without knowing it, I started a page. Now I say without knowing it because when I flipped through this page was kind of almost done. And I didn't remember doing it. So I went back through and finished it. Yeah, that's how my brain was working that day. And I have question marks by what I used, but it's some sort of either a King Art gel stick or an oil pastel, something like that for all these colors in the background. I do think there are watercolor pencils in here. There's a lot of metallic. There's some Languo. There's just a lot in here. Pretty much everything I could find. This along here looks like a white gel pen that I sort of smeared as I went to keep it, or I purposely chose a white pen that's not opaque because I wanted it to blend it, not to be too bright. I enjoyed this very much, what I can remember of doing it. Obviously, my brain was checked out that day, and so this must have just been a really fun way to, you know, not think in color. And I think that's kind of what this book is about. The designs are great. It's the artist is Sarajevo Frieden. Wow, that was bad. But it's an actual artist who does these, and they're very wonderful, tribal-y looking, pop arty, some of them. Very intentionally designed. Just beautiful. And great paper, pretty good paper. Single-sided. Peter Popper Press does some great stuff. And they're cheap anyway, even new. But this one was used, not even touched though. It was like new for $5. It's so worth $5. Every time I look at it, I get pulled into it. So I can't look at it too much because I have so many books right now on my plate. But it's so tempting because you just don't have to really think. You can just color and make it, you know. Whether it turns out, it turns out. This one I think did ultimately turn out. I like the final product, but I can tell you if I didn't, it still would have served its purpose. It was just a healing picture to do. So that's Serenity. And you can find it on Amazon. You can find it used, probably in all kinds of places. Really neat, neat book. Okay, let me show you another book that's going to be in a haul that's upcoming. I kind of went nuts. My friend Tammy at Tammy Colors 2 has the Posh book collection. That's where I first heard about these books. They're affordable, most of them. They've got pretty good paper. Well, this one's kind of thin, but the pictures are really fun, and they're all different themes. Now, I have been on the lookout for a good Snoopy coloring book, and all the ones I've seen have kind of been lame. I haven't found any on any decent paper, and the ones on, even though I was willing to sacrifice some quality for a good book, I just couldn't find a good book. And then I was shopping some Posh books on eBay. I was all over, and I got this one off eBay. Now, this was $9, which is kind of expensive for a used book, but it's hard to find. I got this. This came from Better Worlds Book West, which don't always send me good books. Sometimes I have problems with Better World books. But this one turned out really good. It's, I don't think there's any colored pages in it. And I'm going to flip through it in the haul. It's really fun. It's very, very busy. But these are good pages. These are good Snoopy pages. It's got all the characters in there. It's really fun. They are perforated, so you can pull them out. And let's look at the one I did. I did one for summer. It's like the last ditch of summer. So this is mostly acrylic markers, mostly. There's also some pencils in their skin tone and hair, but I think the rest of it's all either acrylic markers or Languo gel pens. Super easy, but took a while because it's so incredibly detailed. But it was so much fun. I mean, look at this fun page. So good, so good. It's got all the characters. And, you know, just lots of little things to color. I just colored bits and pieces. It took me a long time because I didn't sit down and do it all at once. I just sort of did bits and pieces and then would put it away. And it was fun. I loved it. Now, you have to find this used, but I do see them used pretty regularly. So if you're interested in a good Peanuts book, I've been looking, and this is the first one I found, and it's the Posh book. So, but look how busy they are. Like, oh, sorry to bump you. So, like, this is the next page. This is the page on the opposite side. It's crazy. But it's all the characters. It's a lot of fun. I think it would be fun with pencil. I think it'd be fun with anything because the little thing, the little characters, the little elements, that's the word I'm looking for, are small enough that you could definitely use pencils. And then, you know, do something else for the background. Acrylic markers work great. Isn't that fun? I love it. So, something did bleed through. Oh, that was because I forgot what I was doing, and I used an alcohol marker, and I was like, wait, these aren't single-sided. So I started using an alcohol marker and then realized, oh, yeah, duh. But fun, huh? So, that is my Peanuts book. And I love it. Posh coloring book, Peanuts. Let me get you the ISBN. There you go. Now, it says $12.99 US new. You are, that's about what you're going to find it for used right now because you can't get it new. So mine was $9. I've seen them for $12, $13. But I don't know. I think it's worth it if you get a good copy. It's a lot of fun. And the person that had it before wrote 2019, but they never colored anything in it. So I put my year on it. Just thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, nothing's colored in it. So what a fun page. Oh, I want to do another page in here, but I can't. Got to put it away. All right, let me show you what I did next. All right, the next is out of Frog Village Summer. I love these Frog Village books. As I've said before, they are by Alexandra Zacharakouros, who you can get these on Amazon. They are the worst of the worst paper, but they are adorable. Easily can be photocopied, which I might do with my next one. I also have the spring and the autumn. They're just adorable. This Froggy is so cute and chubby. She also has an Etsy site, so if you go to her Etsy, she has some of these things on downloadable, so you can get them there. And I do a buddy with Veronica Dunn. Veronica Dunn 66. Here's her Instagram handle. And I haven't been able to keep up every month. I can't work out of the same book every month. I do get tired of it. But this one is a lot of fun. So I decided to surprise her because I wasn't going to do this month's. And I did this month's. And I did this. Oh, let me fix my camera. There we go. I did this. Yay, look at him diving. I was a scuba diver, so this was a lot of fun. The shiny stuff you see, I would have done black glaze if I wasn't being precious with my black glaze pens. So I did just a black marker, I think alcohol. Yeah, I did the whole thing in alcohol marker. These are single-sided. And then I used a clear glossy Mod Podge that's for collaging. And that's like 3 coats. It dries pretty quickly. But that's like 3 coats and I let it dry overnight. And it just kind of makes it shiny like that when it's not the same as glaze. It doesn't give it dimension. It's not very, you see the brush strokes in it. But it's there. It does its purpose. And the rest of it's all alcohol markers and then some Language gel pens going over some lines and some sparkly, various sparkly stuff. Probably some Language gold, some Pandafly gold, probably the Language sparkly gel pens that I love so much, the shiny style for those shiny fish. And I just thought he was so much fun. These aren't fast for me. It seems like they would be, but they do have a lot of detail in them, and I do like to make them look nice. So they aren't super fast for me. But I finished this and was all excited, and I sent it to Veronica, and she's like, yeah, that's nice. I'm like, huh, she wasn't as impressed with me finishing my monthly buddy with her. But then I realized This wasn't the monthly buddy page. This is, which I have not done. Oh, Candice failed. Oh, I'm a dumpster fire. So this is what Veronica had done for the, I swear we talked about this page at one point, this diving page, but she did the ship page, which I'll do someday. But that was what she did for this month, and it's very cool. I love all her colors. I do love her fish the most, those kind of red and yellow fish. Those are really cool fish. So it was a lot of fun, and her page is wonderful. So cute, and you know, someday I'll do that. But I did this for my summer page. So thank you, Veronica, for always putting up with me and my cracked out brain. All right, let me show you what I did next. Okay, here's one that I was supposed to have done in July, and it's out of the Exorcist coloring book by Alessandro Valdrighi, and I really love this book. It's a lot of fun. I've done one page in this one. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very funny horror book. So if you like to color something different that's actually funny, scary, it's very spoofy and fun. The one this was with Paula at Coloring Mom. And her and I were going to do this one with the pajamas. Now, the reason I bring it up is because she finished hers and it's so good and I want to show it. So this is, you're shining a flashlight on some scary creature, except who's sneaking up on somebody, except he's got like teddy bear pajamas on. So let me show you Paula's. Now here's Paula's, and it's fantastic. She did the flashlight effect so well. I'm now stuck with that in my head, like, I don't want it to look just like Paula's, but that's a really cool technique. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I might make my flashlight more of a cooler light bulb so that it shows some of the color of the pajamas, but we'll see. I just really love what Paula did, and I think she's so talented, and I really wanted to show her efforts because she did a fantastic job. I just had too many pages and couldn't get to it, so I am planning on getting this one done in the next month or two. It's added to my September plans, but I don't know. It may not get finished till October, but Paula, I promise I will get to this one. So thank you very much for being a wonderful friend and one of my favorite buddies to color with. All right, let me show you one of my favorite pages that I colored this month that I'm the most proud of. This is Kirby Rosanna's Dark Fairy Tales, and I have several buddies in here, and I'm just going to have to make them all open-ended because these pages take the time they take, but I am getting to all of them in the order that people ask me. I'm currently working, I'm going to be starting the Tornado page as a buddy from Wizard of Oz, as well as the Jack and the Beanstalk page. And then after those, I'll be starting La Llorona. These are all buddies that have been asked me, but these pages do take me a bit. But I'm in a small group that's doing the double Cinderella pages, and I finished one of them. So I wanted to show you Cinderella. There it is. I'm so proud of this page. Look! Now, many of you guys have seen the start of this because in various Coloring in the Cabins with me, I have shown you how I did the graphitent background, where I made all of the, let me turn the lights down a little bit. I made all of the people just sort of fade into the background with just highlights on them. And then I did some where I showed you how I did these gold. I did it in my Coloring in the Cabin 4. I showed you how I made these gold chandeliers. So you've seen this page quite a bit, but here it is finished. What do you think? What do you think? I'm trying to get that glare off of it because it is very glary. This was done with a lot of graphitent for this dark color. There's quite a bit. There's some Tim Holtz watercolor pencils because I love them. That's all this because I love them in Kirby books. You saw me do these with pencils. I happened to just use the Color Soft pencils, Derwent Color Soft, because that's what I had out. I found every pencil works great in here. She's got a little bit of bling on her tear and on the tiara and on her shoe down there. I just felt like I got, these were There was some Koh-i-Noor woodless pencils as well. That's what I did this black shading with, and the yellow. I just used pencils that I had near me, and I love those because they're almost like using crayons. It wasn't hard. It was hard deciding on the colors for them. I did end up using a silver languo and adding just dots everywhere in her dress to try to make them flashy. If I can get them to flash without the light shining on them. Yeah, there. So she's very sparkly, and he is just, I've told everybody that I showed this to. I think I fell in love with him while I was coloring him, spending time with him. He's so dapper and dangerous and, and seductive in his own way, even though he's just a skeleton. But that's what I did. What do you guys think? I love this page so much. I love the background receding into the background. And I got that idea from another colorist. I watch everyone online, everyone I can find. And someone I watched had done that to another page. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. Instead of coloring them all colors, just make them recede and put the only colors on the entire page on the two dancers. And make them very colorful. I played with different colors for his jacket. And I really, really was conscious about where the light would shine. Both on the people in the back, on them, on her dress, on his shirt, on the floor. Like, where would the light be? And the more you can do that and be consistent with it. Now, the light shining off this part of her dress is not very realistic. Like, we'd have to pretend that there's a chandelier over here as well, shining on her. But I did it anyway. I liked it. I thought it made the folds of her dress pretty, but that's not very realistic. The light shining just here on him is much more realistic, and nothing here. But yeah, the more consistent you can be with where light is falling, the more believable it becomes. And that's what I did. So I really like this page. This page turned out just the way I wanted it to turn out. And it was a labor of love and a lot of fun. So for the rest of you that I have buddies with, I have them all written down. I am getting to them. I love this book and I love working in this book. It just, this is a precious book to me, so I take my time with it and really get really thoughtful with it. All right, that's Kirby Rosanna's Dark Fairy Tales. Mythographic Fantasy Forest. This was an untouched mythographic for me, and I have no idea why. This one's by Fabian Attanasio, and it's fantastic. I love every page in it. I think just a bunch of them came out all at once around this time, and I just neglected to ever color in this. So my friend Deb, and here is her Instagram handle, my friend Deb was kind enough to offer to do a page with me in this, and we did this page. Now this is a fairy in her fantasy forest, and I chose to make her at nighttime, and I had so much fun with this page. I knew I wanted the flowers to be pink. That's kind of all I knew. And what pencils did I use on this? Oh, I used alcohol ink. I think I used alcohol ink for almost everything. Yeah, almost everything was based in alcohol ink. And then I had gel markers and gel pens and things like that. A lot of Languo is on top of things. There's a little acrylic. And yeah, it's just my typical stuff. And I'm glad I've gone back to using alcohol markers in mythographics and mythogorias. I was trying some acrylics, but really alcohol markers work the best for me as a base. And then I can use pencil and stuff on top. So, yeah, I did there's some white panda fly here to make the crystal on top of those black lines to try to make the crystal this rock look more like a crystal. And then I tried to make it look like where she's touching is also glowing, that she's sort of a glowing fairy. I made what's coming out of the plants to be this dark pink, and then just tried to make it get darker as it got away from this glowing crystal. I hope that worked. And then I was stuck with the lily pads. I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to bring in too many greens. Most of the greens I've made more gray than green and very dark because this is night and I figured you wouldn't see the greens as much. So I went with black. I did black and then I did some more of these burgundy colors and then added some white on them to add some highlights. I'm not sure the black was a great choice, but I kind of like it. Probably would have been better if it was darker brown. The black's very stark and I don't have any other black on this page. So I like them and I like this. I'm not sure the two go together. Plus, to distinguish them from the water, I made them more of a cooler toned purpley, where this is more of a burgundy, and I'm not sure that works either. But they do stand out from the water, and, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I love how it turned out. Fabiana reposted it, which is amazing. I was thrilled. And I just put dots everywhere, tried to make it look extremely magical. I love doing these Chinese lanterns. I always do them with the same 3 or 4 colors, but I switched it up this time, and instead of using reds, I used pinks. I decided to make them pinks, and I really like it. I've only ever made them reds and yellows, and now this one I made pinks and yellows. I don't know if there's any sparkle in this at all. I tried to make it look sparkly by adding white dots everywhere, but there's no actual sparkly mediums in it. So that's what I did for my page. So let's look at Deb's page. And Deb's page is so bright and magical and beautiful. In fact, I think she called it Technicolor at one point. I'm not sure. Or psychedelic. Was that the word you used, Deb? I absolutely love it. I love her water. I love the way she did the light sources. I like that she added the yellow circles around the lights. I think that's very magical as well. I think the way she used light in this page is very brilliant. And she sent it to me first, and she had a lighter background, and she thought maybe a darker background would work out better, so she tried it. And I agree, the darker background is better because it makes all those really bright, almost neon colors that she made the foreground just really stand out off the page. So thank you so much, Deb. This was a lot of fun to color. Thank you for getting me into this book for the very first time. I tell you, if you guys don't have this one, this book is really phenomenal. It's so Fabiana without all the swirls and loops and weird stuff that, well, there's some that she tends to do. There's a lot of just straightforward coloring, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of love in this book. You can feel it. And it's just a beautiful book. I highly, highly recommend it. All right, let me show you what I did next. Okay, Woodland Coloring Book, Woodland Kingdom Coloring Book by Toshiyuki Fukuda. Oh, it's getting late. I'm in a group that works out of this book every month. This and that group has been together for over a year. I've only been in there for a few months. I love this book. It is super thick, super chunky, super fun. And so let me show you what we did last month. Not that one. Not that one. I just had, oh, it's this one. We did this double page spread. So let's see if we can see it all. What did I use for, oh, I used, did I write it down? No. These were, looks like it was done with water. I think these were gel sticks. These were gel sticks of some sort. I do like using them. They go on very smoothly. These would have been King Arts probably. And I used water to smear them out really good because they are water soluble. So the King Arts are really nice. I do like them a lot. They tend to be a little bit lighter than maybe the Timmel's Distress crayons. So this might have been a combo of both the King Arts and the Distress crayons for me to get the colors I want. This is acrylic marker pen. Looks like a double layer of it. And then I just use a combo of, did I finally use, yes. I've been using just acrylics in this book and haven't been super crazy for the same reason was in the other book I mentioned, is that it's hard to shade with just acrylics. So for this, I used a lot of alcohol markers. Not on, well, you know what, look at that. That was done with alcohol marker. I can't imagine, it doesn't look like alcohol marker. I don't think so. I think that might have been a gel stick. Anywho, this where I did use alcohol markers, I could shade on top. Now I chose not to in a lot of places because flat coloring in this book I think looks really good. But there were things I wanted to do. I added the pattern into the blanket. I wanted to add some, not even coloring on the cabin to make it look like wood. There were some places I did put acrylic and some places I didn't. It's mostly alcohol markers. It went faster than when I used acrylic on the others, which is strange. There's a lot of linguo in here periodically. I kind of went back and forth between what I needed. There's linguo, of course, in these little tiny spaces in the balloons, and there is some metallic stuff going on in there. These are all gel pens. So a lot of alcohol marker and some gel pens. But I really did enjoy this very much. I like the colors that I chose. I thought it was a good time. And I'm glad I got back to alcohol markers with this because when I've done just acrylics, this was paint in acrylics and I did like it. I did like the paint on it. It was gravy paint. This one here I did use some alcohol markers too. I thought there was one I did mostly acrylics. This was mostly acrylics. I wasn't as fond of this one. The one we're doing we usually take 2 months for a double page, so this one is very busy, so we're going to take 2 months for it, but I'm really excited because it's the first indoor scene, and I'm kind of tired of the outdoor scenes, so I'm really looking forward to doing this one. If it was another outdoor scene, I might have skipped it, but with this being indoors, and there's so many fun things, like there's an alligator right there. He still has animals hidden in here. He's got like a chicken vase with these plants in it, and there's animals everywhere, There's a mirror that the cat's looking into, and if you just look around, you'll see just animals everywhere, and I'm really, really excited about this page. It is a little bit outdoors because he's on a balcony, but I love this indoor scene. So look at this. This vase is a whale, or where this tree's growing out of. It's so much fun. This is going to be a really fun page. So looking forward to it. And I'm glad this one went so quickly. We only took 1 month for this, I believe. And, but the alcohol markers made it really fun for me because I like alcohol markers and I'm very comfortable with them. So I'm going to use a lot of alcohol markers for this one. And, as well as there's going to be acrylic and gel pens. Pretty much that's all I use on these. I don't go pencil work in here. I just don't, I could, but I just don't think it needs to. I think the style looks great with flat coloring. So yes. And if you want to join this group is run by Christina at Christina's Art Corner. Just reach out to her and she'll let you in the group and you can have a lot of fun with us. They've made quite a dent in their books. Mine, it'll take me the rest of my life. It'll take me a couple lifetimes to get through this book. This is a very thick book, but so much fun. All right, let me show you what I did next. Okay, I forgot to write this one down, but I finally finished a buddy color I had in this Everyday Magic book. I'm not even sure I hauled this one. Quite a few people got it all at the same time, so it was hauled by a lot of people. And I can't remember if I did or not, but it's a very large book. Well, I think it's like a 12 by 12. And it's got decent paper, and it's single-sided. And it's got I did haul this. I did show this to you. It's got a bunch of different artists in it, and I absolutely love it. There are some artists I like better than others. And the one that my buddy and I did was this one by Sam. I think it's by, in the back they show their Sam Mann. It's female. They show their signatures and then a little blurb on them. So this one's by Sam Mann, and I thought she was so fun. Now she's done pretty much entirely in acrylic markers. Some of them use like paint, where I took I pumped out the acrylic marker ink paint onto a palette, then took a wet brush and brushed it on, and some straight to the page. But a lot of it used like paint. Now this solid stuff was more straight to the page from the marker, but all the blendy stuff, that's put on with the brush. Isn't she cute? Now my buddy has not finished hers yet, which is no big deal. You know, it never is with me. So if you don't finish it, that's fine. I'll show it or not when you do. And, but I'm so glad I finally finished this because I love this book and this whip was holding me up. I just can't seem to continue working in a book when I can if there's if I've already finished a page, but if I haven't finished a page and I have a whip in it, I feel like I need to finish that one first. So, I don't know why this took so long, but it was it was really fun, super fun. And, I think she's absolutely adorable. She's someone I would want to be friends with. She's supposed to be studying, but instead she's creating fish in the air. Anyway, that is Everyday Magic by several artists, and it's just a really, really neat book. All right, I've got a couple more for you. All right, I'm in a group that works out of the Life of Witches. Now, Life of Witches is the compilation of the 3 books, Witches Around, and Year of Witches. So we pick a page out of one of those books, and we just go through the 3 books and then start over every month. So if you have 1 or 2 or 3 of those, all 3 of those books, you could join us and help and color along. Reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with the person who's in charge of this one. And this month we did this page. Now this was, of course, as you can see, I did not color this background. This background, they were standing in a field of flowers, and it was a bazillion flowers, and I was so over coloring flowers. So what I did instead was how did I do this? Oh, yeah. Is I cut them out of the page. And so all I had was this square of paper. So I basically cut this out, right? And then I fussy cut them out. And then I took this from, was it a magazine or a book? And I glued it on the back. So I glued this frame. All that was attached to the book was this frame, this that I painted black. And I glued it to this. So then there was a frame and this. Then I colored these girls. I probably colored them before I cut them out. I colored them and then I glued them on top. So they are from, or did I should have wrote this down. I thought I would remember, because the other way to do this is to photocopy the page. No. These are cut out from this paper. So that's one way that you can add a background, is you can do some fancy cutting. Now, this page was big, and so it fit, covering up the whole back. Yeah, this is just me marking it up. I was having some fun. But it looks like it's a magazine page is what it looks like, that it came out of something. And I just put these girls on there. So I basically put them on the edge of the water with no feet. But then this paper was so frail when I glued it down, it got all wrinkly and stuff. It's so thin. So then I tried to paint it black and the wrinkles really show. But just pretend they're not there. I mean, it doesn't matter. Really, I was just trying to experiment with this background technique, with cutting out the image and putting a background in. And it worked out great. It made the page a lot more fun to play with collage and not have to do all those flowers. And I will keep experimenting with this. I think the reason I didn't film it was because it was brand new. It was a new thing for me, and I want to get better at it. Although you watching my mistakes is also educational. But that is one way to deal with backgrounds, and I will be doing that in more books. So there's that. This month's page I haven't marked, but it's one where they're on broomsticks flying to the moon. So I haven't marked it yet, but that's this month's page, and I'm looking forward to it. So let me show you. I do have just a few more. So this next was a buddy color with Paula at Coloring Mom, and let me put her Instagram name up on camera if I haven't already. And this is out of Universal Monsters. This is a very beloved book by the two of us. This is Alan Robert, and we tend to buddy out of this quite a bit. It's not a very big book, and I love it. We're working our way through it actually pretty quickly. And the one we chose to do was this one. It was a double page spread, and it took me longer to get done than her. And I had so much fun doing this. So let me bring you out just a little bit. I used a lot of acrylic markers on here, a lot of the Languo, because they're very watery and not very opaque, and I could use them like paint. So there's a lot of that going on. I think you've seen this in some of my coloring in the evening in the cabin with me, and I've shown you some of the techniques I've used. It was a lot of fun because those markers are so kind of thin and watery and painterly that I can combine colors that I might not normally combine. Like this is like a, I don't know, a greenish tan, and this is like some sort of burgundy, and using them together made it really look like, I don't know, dirty or a little bit bloody. It was kind of cool. All of this is those acrylic markers. The shiny stuff is various shiny gel pens that I've got. But yeah, everything's done in acrylic markers. Now the skin, I'm not as confident in acrylic. So if I look at my notes, it said I use my polys, and they worked pretty well. So I used the polys for his hair and his skin. But all this rest of this stuff, and some shading. There's some shading with polys, but all the rest of this is done with acrylic markers. Her skin was also done with polys, but her hair is acrylic marker. So just a lot of acrylic markers. I really, really enjoyed doing this double page spread. And we've done quite a few in here. So let me show you Paula's. Okay, so here is Paula's. And wow, take a peek at that. She had hers done very, very early. And it's so good. Every part of it is fantastic. And it's interesting how we both did a page that calls for a lot of neutral colors. In sort of an earthy palette, and yet they look very different, I think. I think they look different, and I really, really liked it. Hers was she was an inspiration for me as well, because I don't know if I'd even started it at the time she'd finished hers. I think I'd started it, but that was it. And she really encouraged me to keep going. So thank you, Paula, so much. Your page is fantastic. And looking at the two of ours, here's mine again. Looking at the two of them, I think they really complement each other well, and they go together really well. So we are going to do, our next page we decided to do, I think, for October, because this book calls to us, and we really enjoy it. I mean, we did this page together, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and we've done Frankenstein's Monster here. I think we're going to do one either out of The Mummy or The Invisible Man, and we haven't chosen one yet. I think she said it was my turn to choose. So, oh, that one's so good. This is not a double page. This is a single page. But all of the swamp, I can't remember. Is it Creature of the Black Lagoon or Swamp Thing? Oh, Paula told me which one it is. They're all so good. That's a nice double page spread of Frank. Now, we haven't done any from Dracula yet. This is one with all of the creatures on it. And here's the Wolf Man. There's just like 5 or 6 movies. Now, this Invisible Man, he is really tempting me. I love he's very dapper, but yet he's all wrapped up. Jack's right behind me snoring in case you hear it. This is a fantastic one for Frankenstein's monster. Oh, Phantom of the Opera. I forgot about Phantom of the Opera. Oh, Paula, this one would be so good for Phantom of the Opera. Oh, I mean, sorry, it would be so good for October. Wouldn't it be? Oh, wow. Okay, and here he is sawing off the chandelier. That's another good one. Oh my gosh. Dracula and his vampy girlfriend. I don't know who she is, but she's another vampire. This is another fun one from that swamp monster. Look, her legs, he's coming to get her. I love everything in this book. This is my favorite book by Alan Robert. There's the mummy. No. That's Frankenstein's monster, I think. There. Now, this is a good one. This is the one I was kind of thinking of for the Invisible Man. But I don't know. We're going to be doing this at Halloween. So now I'm starting to think of something scary. Here's Phantom of the Opera. That's a really good one. There's the Wolf Man. That'd be a good one for Halloween, too. Okay, I'm going to have to look at these and try to decide because the Mummy's fantastic. I was thinking of the Mummy or the Invisible Man since those. I love this one of Frankenstein. Oh, this monster, he's just so nice. But because it's spooky time Halloween, oh, Dracula. And this spooky house would be really fun for Halloween. Oh, I don't know now. I don't know. That one would be so good, but so would this one. Ugh. They're so amazing. What ones haven't we looked at yet? I think there's a couple mummies we haven't looked at yet. There's a full page up and down of the mummy. Oh, that one's so good. There's the monster we did. That was a lot with oil pastels. This is a great one of the Wolfman. That one would be fun too. Oh my gosh, Paula. Oh, I love this one where she's pulling off his mask. To me, Phantom of the Opera is such a tragic hero, though. I mean, it's such a sad tale. We just did The Bride of Frankenstein. And we've done Frankenstein, although these are all great. And here's them. I always think these look like they're dancing, these pictures. There's the mummy. There's like Cleopatra. Here's that swamp creature again with the overturned car. Oh, these are good. Look at that. If you wanted to do Dracula, both of these are good. Oh, this is going to be so hard. Another good one to do, but more of a sad one. And we did Frankenstein. I'm trying to pick a monster movie we haven't done yet. That's a good one of the Wolfman. Okay. Wolfman. Phantom of the Opera. Scary house. Scary Halloweeny house. I'm really leaning towards the Phantom of the Opera one. Paula, let me know what you think. I'm really leaning towards this one. I just think we could have so much fun with, because this is more of a like a stage prop, so it could be any color. And it's like down in the basement of the stage where he lives. This is all like a stage props. So you could do the background, anything in any color. And this one of him sawing the chandelier. I don't know, Paul, let me know. They're all so wonderful. But that's Universal Monsters by Alan Robert. Fantastic book. I highly recommend. So here's an odd little book. Now, this is going to be part of the Posh coloring book haul that I'm going to show you. I love Sudoku. So I saw this, and it was super cheap. Did I write down where I got it from? eBay, $7. Like new. And I thought, I'm going to add this because I love playing Sudoku and I love coloring. And I actually like coloring books that have puzzles and stuff with them. You've seen me work out of my Cthulhu one. That is a lot my H.P. Lovecraft one. And I've done lots of those puzzles and lots of that. In fact, I need to get back to that book. So I just did the first one. And I didn't intend on actually coloring it. I just felt like doing some Sudoku. And so I did the Sudoku, and then I was like, I'm going to color the flowers. And it looks like in this book, it's all flowers around the puzzles. But they were so tempting to color that I just did. And I just used acrylic markers. It was really fast, really easy, did some shiny stuff. It was a nice break after doing the puzzle to color the flowers. And I made them these neutral tans and browns. It just was the mood I was in. And I really like it. I think the whole thing was a lot of fun. So I did the Sudoku puzzle. And that's actually was in pencil. And then I went over it with a gel pen of sorts to make it darker. But then, and then I just colored the page. So I may do that for all of them. I'll probably just go in order. And they're double-sided, so you can't, use alcohol marker on them. But, and I may not color all of them, but I will color some. And these are the same as these, so this is almost a double-page spread. So why not? With acrylic markers, they go really fast, and it's brain-dead coloring, so it's totally wonderful for when your brain is on fire. Speaking of brain on fire, I worked out of this book. It's an art of coloring book. Again, another group of books that I owe you a flip through on because I started collecting these and kind of went bonkers. These are fun. The paper's pretty good, but it's just the images are great if you're looking for Disney type. Now they are somewhat patterny. They are somewhat wallpapery. Oh boy. I need a bowl of ice cream and then bed, don't I? But these are fun. I love art of coloring books. So the one I did was this Ursula, and I was not having a good brain day. So the brain was not connecting with the rest of the body, and I just felt like putting color on paper, so I started doing this, and I love how it turned out. It's all acrylic and lingual gel and, super golden markers, and I think it turned out really well for someone whose brain was not online, and I really loved it. It went fast. I was in bed, if I remember right, and I just wasn't thinking. So this is what I did. And I did it so fast that I went over here and started working on this one. And yes, this is tiny. These are all done with lingual gel pens because they've got those tiny nibs. I'm still working on this. And this too was so soothing to my brain. So these are real brain soothing type colorings. That's what these books are good for. They've got a lot of patterns on them, but yet they're fun, images from movies and such. And this one is really good. Like this type of patterny stuff is so easy on your brain when your brain is tired. And you don't have to do all this stuff. You could just take some ink or crayon or oil pastel or pan pastel or whatever and just put a swath of color over it. You don't have to do all these patterns. And I won't. I won't do all the patterns in her robe, and I won't do these little tiny patterns in hers. But some I might. They're very patterny, very fun. And some are more patterny than others. I mean, they're great images, I think. But this was just perfect for a brain that was broken. And actually, I really like the way it turned out. I love the way that super golden marker catches the light. Oh, there's nothing that beats them. And then I have this one that I'll work on. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Good fun. Art of coloring Disney villains. All right, we are almost done. So my last coloring page I want to show you for this video is from the horror coloring book, and this is from the Calle brothers. I think it's pronounced Calle. Juan Calle and Santiago Calle. And they are fantastic. I love them. They have several books in this series out, but I cannot distinguish which are originals, which are just renamed, and which are compilation books. So, they do have a brand new one that I know is new, though, and that's called the Cosmic Horror Coloring Book, which I really want to get because it's space horror. Anyway, what Paula and I did was the Cthulhu Sailor Man. And let me show you her page first. All right, here is her page. Isn't it cool? It's like this old, gosh, it could be straight from Pirates of the Caribbean too, but he's a sailor guy. And I thought I was having a hard time deciding if he was standing in front of wallpaper or I want to make him standing in front of an aquarium full of nautilus. And I think we both went with the wallpaper route. I love Paula's subtle shading. This is very neutral and quiet for her coloring. So it really surprised me when she sent this, but it's so effective because look at those eyes. That's freaky. And he's looking at us. I did not interpret that the eyes were looking at us. So my eyes look different. And also the jacket. His jacket looks real. It's just a really effective, really successful coloring, and I loved it. So thank you, Paula, very much. Let's look at mine. I went with a lot more color. I went with all the color. This is my guy. Now it's done pretty much entirely, in fact it is entirely, in acrylic markers, as well as some Language gel pen for the lines. But what I did was I took those juicy Language acrylic markers that, you know, are really watery and stuff, and used them like paint. And I did several colors. There was like the light color. There's a really light one in there, then a middle one, then a tan, then an orange. And I put them on when they were wet so that I could kind of smear. I did them like 1, 2, 3, 4 right away. I didn't let anything dry so that they smeared kind of like paint. And I wanted to make it look like painted wallpaper. And then this is 2 coats of this green acrylic marker. And then he's all in acrylic marker. And see, I interpreted this as being a highlight in his eye. So he's not necessarily looking at us. He could be. But he's got the same eye as his Nautilus do. And then I took some washi tape I have that has burnt edges and put 2 layers. There's a strip here and then a strip on top of it because it's really thin to go around the edges. I thought that looked cool. But then about halfway through my coloring, Jet decided to add his part to it. And that's Jet's attempt at coloring. Yes, that's a big old hole. Winga, 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 winga. Jet's not much of a colorist. He's more of a destructionist. So that's Jet's contribution to this page. And if you don't know, Jet's my chicken, my house chicken. But that's what I did. So I went completely different than Paula. I went, you know, lots of colors, filled the entire page, and which is what I do, right? But I love both of them. They're very different. They almost look like different pages, don't they? So that was our guy. And I believe this is my first page out of this book. Yeah, this is a great book. I mean, it's the Kaye brothers. They do a lot of zombies, but I'm not crazy about zombies, but everything else they do is phenomenal. They do really well. They're really good with perspective, and they make things scary without being too gory. I even think there's a Wendigo in here. I don't like that one because it's dead, but that's cool. Oh, that's creepy. There's so many creepy things, worms coming out of his head. And they do a lot of, sometimes they do patterns in the background, which I like. Cool. So cool. This is a fun book. This particular mermaid has been on my 2-color list so many months. I just need to get to her. I love her. There's just a bunch of scary frogs eating each other. I mean, they're really cool. They're monsters in the typical like old school monster sense. These are monsters from monster movies, and and they're all yelling in some way, shape, or form. Ooh, there's a good space one. I may have to mark that. See if I can fit that one into my space timber. I know I'm only doing space pages out of space books, but here's something I can stick in there. But that is really cool. There's just a lot of really cool things in here. And I have flipped this through on my channel. So fun book. And thank you, Paula, once again, for getting me into a book that I hadn't colored yet. All right. One last thing for you. That was it for my coloring pages. And I'm going to end this video with my sticker story that I did. 21 coloring pages. That's crazy. Crazy, especially with some of them being as detailed as they were, but so much fun. I had a great August. Now, my sticker stories, as you know, are these fun PET stickers that you put on to a backdrop and usually follow a sample picture. And so here's the first one I did. You guys have seen these. And the amusement park. Yeah, that's crazy. That was a hard one. That took a long time. This series took a long time. And what I do is I put them in this little scrapbook that I got off Temu. And I just write down what they're called, the manufacturer if I know, and the date I finished it. Some of these, I didn't make this until just last month, so I don't know exactly what month they were made, but here's one that goes like this. This is Summertime Fun. So cute. Lots of these little weird bunny things. That was a hard one too. Lots of fun. Not as hard as this one. Here's another one of the big ones. These ones by Tolado, I think is what they're by. These large ones are a lot of fun. This is the doll department store. All of these were stickers. And most of these I have done on camera, and I'm putting them all together. As I said at the beginning of this video, putting them all together into one video where and then I voice over a story that I'm reading. A children's book that I'm reading. Well, it's not a children's book. It's a surprise. You'll know. And that's going to be a gift to you, and it's not monetized, so there will be no money made from it, but it won't have any commercials. So you can go to sleep to it if you want to. I thought this one was really pretty and a lot of fun. And this is the one I did this month. It was a smaller one. It was the Magical Museum. And it was so much fun. Very cute. I didn't know what the name of the manufacturer was, so I cut out part of the packaging here. Yeah. I get these off Temu. You can get them in lots of places. There's websites like Sticker Therapy and stuff, but they're very expensive off of those websites. They're super cheap off Temu or Temu. They're super cheap. Like, I wouldn't buy them anywhere else. And when I've looked at the ones on the websites, they're the exact same things. I think they're just being resold. Anyway, that is all that I did in August. That was a lot. You got to see a lot. And you're going to see even more in September. So lots of fun. Stick around. I've got a lot of videos coming out for you. And I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye-bye.